Okay, I'm gonna start on my master cylinder today, and I found a set of nuts that doesn't have the nylon, so that I can set it in there and test fit it and stuff. And I'm making one. I need to make one line because the other line already fit the fittings. So I got this here, and see, I think I got almost perfect there. This set works pretty good. Put that on there and squish it down, and then you take this piece off, and then you squish it down again. This is the other piece, and it screws on here like that, and then you screw this down, and it makes the fitting. I like this set. It holds pretty good. The other cheap set I got at AutoZone, this slides down while you're trying to make the fitting. See, this has got bolts here, Allen bolts here, that you clamp it down real good, and it hasn't been slipping at all. And then I'm going to put a piece on here, and then I'm going to make another fitting here, two pieces in the middle, I guess. So anyway, that's what I'm doing now, and then this is going to go from the line lock to the front brakes part of the master cylinder. And after I get the lines ready where I can just screw them on, then I'm going to bench bleed it and stick it on there and put these lines on right away. That's the plan. The hardest part about this set is when you get this on there and you snug it up, it's very hard to start this without it accidentally trying to cross thread, and it's actually kind of hard right now to turn on there, and that's really kind of irritating. Make sure that's turned all the way out. You almost need a vise for this. Kind of hurts your fingers. These blocks could be a little bigger where you could actually wrench on them. Now that I got that straight, these threads straight, because they shift a little bit. So now that I've put this on, and see, it's really difficult to, there we go. See, I almost want to put that in a vise and squeeze it. It's not all the way down yet. See? So I'm gonna put it in a vise and squeeze it all the way down, and then run it back off, check the level. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it doesn't slip. Should get a pair of channel locks. See, it didn't move. It moved a little bit. It did move just a little bit. I'll put it on that. That's how you measure it. Now I'm just going to barely snug it so that it hopefully doesn't move again. Get a pair of channel locks. Alright, got a pair of channel locks. Looks right. So now I put this on, and then I spin this on. See it's sideways. It's kind of a pain to get straight. And I bet these get destroyed a lot because people try to accidentally put them on and cross thread them. So this really is kind of a bench tool, if you ask me. Almost need a vise to do this. Trying to keep it upright because I don't want that thing falling out of the line. Okay, that's tight on there. Spin this down. This would be kind of a pain in the butt to do in the car, and I might wind up having to do it in the car because that one side, the fitting isn't as pretty as these are turning out to be. Okay, that's all the way down now. I forgot to tighten the damn bolts, so it slipped. That figures. Starting over. I gotta cut it. Cut it. And they give you this tool to clean it. Get those burrs off of there so it presses nicely. Don't forget to put your fittings on. Okay, that's right. Spin that all the way up. Make sure it don't get in the way. that's good. Back on. See how it goes on nice now. A very important step. Tighten these. Now, first step, you just tighten it down until it stops, and you can feel a pretty hard stop. There. That one you can put a pretty good amount of torque on because it has a stop. Okay, see, that's nice and flush there, and look at that, nice fat fitting there. Now, I just put this back on and I spin this down, it's got a cone in there. It's got, see that cone? And so I tighten it till it feels a little resistance, and then I've been giving it like a half a turn and then taking it off and checking it, because if you go too far on that, then you mess it up. So like, I'll take it off a couple times to make sure that it's doing a good job and I haven't went too far, because you can over tighten this part. At stop. So I'm going to pick a side of the bolt and I'm going to turn it half a turn. And that's got just a little bit of a bevel on it, so it's probably closer to 3/4 of a turn. If I did this more often, I could probably get it pretty darn precise. Spins right on there now, all the way to stop. Now I'm just going to do another flat. That's looking better. Yeah. It's probably gonna work. Take this tool here and clean it a little bit. Test that against the fitting and see if it looks good, and then I'm pretty sure this one's gonna work. Got my fancy catch can here. Okay, I got the brake lines on. And I just got to get the nuts. I put regular nut on it to hold it there for now, but I'm gonna get the nylon lockers, put them on. All right, so these are my brake line bending pliers. I had to get them squeezed in there to hold that bolt from turning because it wasn't tight enough on the threads to keep it from spinning when I was trying to tighten it. And so I had to run it back out again and then hold it with them pliers. And then once it started snugging up good, then it held. So that's a problem for the future. When I go to ever take this off, I'm not going to be able to get those bolts out because they're going to sit and spin, and there's no way to get on them besides messing up the threads even worse. So that's going to be a future problem. All right, next up, drilling this. The instructions on the Strange website for their kit says to measure 2 inches down from here and drill in the center. And I'm pretty sure that Motion Raceworks reverse engineered their plate, didn't reverse engineer their instructions. So I'm just going to go ahead and get in the drill press and drill this out at 2 inches. A friend of mine did the same thing and it worked out for him, so that's what I'm going to do. So this bottom part of it is thicker than the top, so if I put it like this, see it's up off of there a little bit. So if I shift it over, then it won't hang up on the side of the pedal when it pivots like this when you push the pedal. I put the wheel straight at 1.5 turns because it's 3 turns stop to stop. And then after messing around a little bit and trying to figure out a way to do it, I took a string and I hung it here, and then I went over here and I moved the string like this until it touched both sides of that tire over there, and I made a mark on the tire. And then I did the same thing on the other side so I could get them close. And then once I got them pretty close, I took a tape measure and I measured from the center of the tire there to the center of the tire on the other side, and now I got them both exactly the same. I probably should put a little toe in on it, but and maybe I will. Maybe I'll put a turn of toe in on each one, I don't know, something. But I got them straight enough to probably to go get an alignment anyway, and that's how I did it. Holy crap. I don't know if that's my tires or if it's the pavement. It looks like hard. Oh. Got gravel stuck to the tires. We got them hot. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's probably tar. This would have probably not a very good street to do burnouts on. Alright, the steering wheel is straight when I drive now, but it pulls to the left a little bit. Well, I guess I'm ready to take it, get it aligned. See how bumpy it is? I don't know if you can see how bumpy it is. Maybe adjust the shock. Broken belt that's causing this too from that fire. And I noticed the tire was messing up or messed up. One last thing I wanted to point out is this plate. I put that under the tire and I put a penny under that in the center when I was doing my final adjustments on the alignment. And I did kind of the same process I did before, except for weight was on the car and I had that pivoting system to help it so that it wasn't pushing the steering wheel around when I was doing it. And I thought that was a pretty neat trick I figured out. So I wanted to throw it in there and let you guys know that that worked pretty good. So that'll do it for today. I'll have to get back to it on another day off. I ran out of time. Still got to do the transmission brake, the trans brake wiring.